Yes, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Cre8 Africa Podcast, where we are redefining creativity for Africa's future. I'm your host, Frank Wesley, and today we're diving into a topic that embodies one of the core principles of the Cre8 Africa framework, and that's principle number 2, which is creativity can be inspired or suppressed. I've gone about this a little bit backwards because it would have made sense if I just did the Cre8 principles first, but we did a very dope interview and visit to Namboole Stadium, so I figured I'd do this first and we'll go through the Cre8 principles in another episode. So bear with. Principle number 2, creativity can be inspired or suppressed. Okay? Creativity isn't just about music, it's about the spaces where we create, the opportunities to nurture and environments to build and foster greatness. And what better example to discuss today than Uganda's Mandela National Stadium? So grab a seat and let's explore the potential for Nelson Mandela Stadium. Namboole.
Uganda Cre8, oh yeah. Uganda Cre8, oh yeah. Let's go. Ale, let's go. Ale, let's go. Uganda Cre8, oh yeah. Let's go. Welcome, baby.
Aye. Uganda Cre8, oh yeah. Uganda Cre8, oh yeah. Aye. Uganda Cre8, oh yeah. CJ, yeah. Odilo Agodi, Bachalo Kelo. To the fans, I'm shining my halo. I should have been stopping the shots on Yango. But I was stuck in a bando. 2025, what I tell you, Afcon. Black, yellow, red, like Plascon.
So, a quick history of Namboole Stadium, okay? Let's take a moment to appreciate the past.
Mandela Stadium, or Namboole as the locals affectionately call it, was inaugurated in 1997, named in honor of the late great Nelson Mandela. This stadium has stood as a symbol of resilience, excellence, and unity that sports brings to a nation.
Did you know that the stadium was funded with support from the Chinese government? It's a state-of-the-art design. At the time was a nod to Uganda's aspirations to become a hub for international sports and events. Over the years, it's hosted everything from electrifying Uganda Cranes football matches to massive concerts and national celebrations. Yet, for all its glory, Namboole's journey hasn't been without its challenges. Like many public facilities across Africa, it's faced issues of maintenance, funding, and evolving infrastructure needs. But this is where the story takes a turn, because spaces like this have the power to inspire, and that's exactly what we witnessed during our visit. Take a quick look.
Like Plascon, just one chance. I won't fumble the ball. Let's go. One of us squad and go.
Let's go. Aye. When
I feel that my world no striker, shoot that shot. Simon Okwi, turn over border, that guy's my ski. UG fans, yeah, we got the vibe. It doesn't matter the tribe, top of the table, we're running the league. Look at our judges, we came in the steam.
Only here to support the Ugandan boys. I don't know about you, we're falling right to the top. They know that the Cranes won't stop, so we're bringing that trophy. Forgot that my country, we're giving them a hat trick. I got a jazzy on like Patrick. We got Steven Mukwala in the center, so I know that we're raising a flag.
When we recently visited Namboole Stadium for a new episode of our Bridging the Gap podcast, big up Wonder JR for everything you're doing in regards to that podcast. What we're trying to do with that space is bridge the gap of the older generation with the new generation, have open conversations. So check out that podcast when it drops. Check out previous episodes if you haven't already. Very inspiring stuff, very relevant for our generation, okay? So when we visited Namboole Stadium for this interview, we were not alone, naturally. We had the production crew, but we were also accompanied by a group of young talented creatives who are working on an unofficial soundtrack, you could say, for the Uganda Cranes. And I'm going to link the track in here. You guys are going to check it out in the background. So they're working on an unofficial track for the Uganda Cranes. Now, let me tell you, these youngsters have passion and vision. They're actually doing such a great job for Uganda and the next generation. I'm going to put their Instagrams in the links below. Please check them out, okay? Big up yourselves, you guys, for what you're doing. So, these guys were invited by Wonder JR to come through to the stadium with us. Now, Wonder is someone that understood very well that granting them such access to an iconic place could spark something extraordinary, and it did. As they filmed content for their new track, you could see how the stadium itself became a part of their narrative. It wasn't just a backdrop, it was a source of inspiration. This small but powerful moment reminded me of something crucial. When we open doors, we pave the way for creativity to flourish. But when spaces like this are neglected, when we neglect to maintain, look after and invest in spaces like this, or if we make them inaccessible, we risk suppressing the dreams of those who need it the most. And this is coming right back round to that principle that creativity can be inspired or suppressed. Are we inspiring or suppressing our youth in regards to being creative and being free to explore their talents and freedoms, okay? So we are understanding now that sports arenas are creative national pillars. Mandela Stadium is more than just a sports arena, guys. It's so much more. Facilities like this fall under a critical category for sports and recreation infrastructure. Really, really, really important. Something that we're not fully tackling just yet in Africa, okay? We're getting there, but especially not in Uganda. So they fall under this category of sports and recreation infrastructure, and here's why they matter. These arenas are where young people discover and hone their talents, whether it's football, athletics, music, and dance. Such spaces allow for experimentation and growth and sharpening of skills. Inspiration to greatness. Walking into this stadium, you guys, I'm not even joking. There was a moment where I was looking around the stadium and I was like, wow, this thing is huge. And look, despite the fact that I came out of the UK, believe it or not, I've not really been to like a football match. I've been outside stadiums and visited some stadiums, Tottenham, Arsenal and whatnot. I've been to a rugby match, but never a football match. So I say that to say, I was yet to experience the grandiosity, is that the word, grandiosity? The marvel, the majesty of a great and huge facility like a football stadium. So when I got into there, I was legit like, yo, this is dope. This is huge. It's a reminder of what's possible, not just for athletes, but for anyone with a dream. Man, stadiums really represent a lot, you guys. We're underestimating what it does for social identity. And of course, it's an economic and creative engine. Sports and recreation aren't just hobbies, as I mentioned before. They generate jobs. They foster tourism and create content. Think of the music videos, films, and campaigns that have been shot in iconic stadiums worldwide, you guys. So why are we not like, we need to do our thing with our stadium so that we can present it in our soft media forms. The importance it has for our national identity. Finally, facilities like these are symbols of who we are. They unite us, they inspire pride, and tell our stories on a global stage. But here's the catch. If we don't invest, if we don't maintain, innovate, and open them up to the next generation, we have to open them up and grant access. We're not just suppressing creativity, we're robbing ourselves of the future. Quite literally, guys. So, the Mandela Stadium of the future, right? What's the future hold? I'll have to mention here quickly, when we went down there, we found this team of individuals that were working on, they were planting grass. Were they planting grass? They had a machine that would put these rods that are about 20 centimeters long into the grass, and I believe it helps the roots of the grass to grow straight up. So when you stand and look at the pitch, we weren't allowed to touch the pitch, by the way. We couldn't walk on it, we couldn't do cartwheels on it, nothing. Delicate, it was like carpet. So it's good to see that they're working on the restoration of it. We were told that the VIP area and some of the changing rooms are being moved. They're preparing for 2026. So it was really just an exciting and beautiful thing to see that they're working on the restoration of this place.
And on behalf of the Executive Committee of FIFA, I will announce our new target as the FIFA World Cup 2026 project. Like we did for Cameroon 2019, our next objective is ensuring that Uganda participates in the FIFA World Cup 2026. That doesn't mean that we shall not compete for the competitions in between. I've mentioned CHAN 2020 and 2022, the AFCONs in between, the World Cup 2022. We'll give our best, but we want to conclude this project, and this is a project of the federation, not the individuals.
Imagine if the stadium became more than a venue for just sports and recreation. If it evolved into a multi-purpose hub for creativity and innovation. That's the vision that we need to champion, guys. So, as we wrap up this episode, here's my challenge to you. Look around your community. What spaces exist to inspire creativity? How can we protect, enhance, or even create new ones? And to every young person listening, creativity is your birthright. Seek out places that inspire you, and when you find them, make your mark. Ugandans, next generation, make your mark. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Mandela Stadium and the limitless possibilities it represents. So stay tuned until next time, guys. Stay creative, stay inspired, and let's build the Africa that we all know is possible. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe.